couch is all wet, so I gotta put this blanket down. But I want to talk about the top 2 things that I do to get good, high quality sleep. So I think most people don't get good, very good sleep because of these 2 main reasons. So the biggest one is probably the electronic use, which means watching TV, going on your phone, scrolling Instagram, TikTok right before you go to bed. So this will pretty much ruin your sleep. So when you go to bed, you want at least an hour, and really, best case scenario, more like 2 hours before bed. No electronic use at all. Dim the lights down. You don't want flashy lights in your face. You want to signal the body, get it ready, prepare it for when you go to bed, where it's pitch black, ideally. If you sleep with the lights on, then that's an issue as well. A big issue. And if you sleep with the TV on too. So this will prevent your melatonin, which is the sleep hormone, people know it as, from getting released. So you're scrolling TikTok, Instagram, and then you put the phone down, and then you try and just go to bed. And you can't make up for that time that you wasted to get your melatonin to release faster. You can't just get it to release faster. You can't rush the process. That's the key thing. You can't rush the process. And if you try and rush it, you're not in a relaxed state, you're not going to get good, high quality sleep. It needs to be a gradual preparing to go to bed. A gradual preparation. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to bed right now, and then just shut the lights off all the way from full brightness to blackout, and then just think you're going to fall asleep well. It doesn't work that way for most people. Some people can get away with it, sure, but for most people, what you should do, and what I do, is I'll dim the lights down a minimum an hour before bed. That's the minimum time for me. 1 hour of no electronic use, just preparing my body to fall asleep that night. So, electronic use, that's the biggest one. You don't want that. It interrupts your circadian rhythms, which is a fancy word for just saying when it's dark out, you should sleep, and when it's light out, you should go outside right away in the morning and get light exposure to set your circadian rhythm. So that's the first thing. The electronic use is something that I have to be disciplined with. It's not something that's easy to do. You have to really say, okay, it's 8 o'clock now. I want to be in bed by 9:30. I have to stop watching TV now. Or whatever you're doing, Instagram or any screen. I mean, I think there's a setting in the phone or a laptop, probably a TV too, where you can dim the light on it. Like it's like night mode or whatever. But still, I think there's glasses as well you can wear. But I don't think it's as good as just cutting it out fully. I try to think about what would we do thousands of years ago, and that's probably what you should do now to get a good sleep, you know? So, phones are obviously a newer thing, a more modern thing. So, for me, I don't use it minimum an hour before bed. And if I can do more than that, like 2 hours, that's better too. You don't really want to be focused on something that last hour. Like even if you're driving, let's say, and it's dark out, and then you try and fall asleep right after when you get home, you're in a focused mode, which is not parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight, because you're focused. A little bit of dopamine's going off. Like you don't want that. You don't want to focus on something very hard when you want to prepare to go to bed and just rest. So that's the first one, is the electronic use. Limit that to an hour before bed, and if not more than that. And then in the morning, right away you want to get some light exposure. This will help you go to bed later on. So the second reason, and the second thing that I do. So this one's a new one that I've tried over the last week, I would say. So these are my top two things. There's other things as well, like don't drink too much water so you don't have to wake up in the middle of the night, which is going to interrupt your sleep cycle. Yes, that's important for sure, and that's something that I focus on. This one that I have just tried, which I do seem to like and does help me, is I do these breathing techniques when I go to bed. So maybe just 5 to 10 minutes of slow breathing in, hold it for a couple seconds, slow breathing out. So I might do 10 in a row. So 10, so one is breathe in and breathe out, that's one. So I might do 10 of those without holding any air on the midway point. And then I'll do like a couple where I breathe in and then I hold it for 5 seconds and then I'll breathe it out. For some reason I like that cycle. I do like 10, then I do a couple of the holds. And once I do that for about 5 to 10 minutes, I do seem to be in a more rested state. And I think it could help people sleep better. And I think it's helping me sleep better as well. I'm taking magnesium glycinate as well. That's been studied to help sleep, but I think the key things are no electronic use. And just, you really want to be in a rested state. So I like the breathing techniques that I've just discovered. So don't drink too much water before you go to bed. You want to empty out for sure, because if you interrupt your sleep cycle in the middle of the night, you pretty much, like, you need to build it up, and the last 2 hours is where magic happens, in my opinion. So to me, that is the deepest sleep you're going to get, at those last 2 hours. I mean, you ever think about it? When you wake up in the morning from a dream, like that dream just happened. It didn't happen in the middle of the night. You woke up from the dream and then it was morning. Like, that's where that deep sleep was happening. So try those two things. No electronic use. And if you can't do this, you have a stimulus problem. And I think most people have a stimulus problem. Like, especially if you just can't sit there for 5 to 10 minutes and just breathe in nice and slow and breathe out nice and slow without your brain racing, you have a stimulus problem. So, all this electronic use now, we want this constant dopamine and stimulation, really, for our brain. And we have trouble just doing nothing. And I think that's an issue. So I really try and just sit and do nothing sometimes, especially if I'm outside in the morning. I really clear my thoughts, and I don't let that voice inside go and keep talking. I really just want to listen to the birds, really just exist for that moment. I think if you can't do that, that's an issue. You have a stimulus issue. So, no electronic use an hour before bed. These are the key takeaways. No electronic use for an hour before bed. Don't be overly focused for an hour before bed. Don't hold your breath. I think people end up holding their breath a lot throughout the day without them even knowing, because they're probably stressed out. Just breathe in nice and slow, and breathe out. Dim the lights. Or just try and be in darkness as much as you can, an hour before bed. You're preparing your body for that recovery overnight, which in the morning, you want to wake up, go outside, and get light exposure. The last thing you want to do is wake up and use your phone right away. So, like this morning, for instance, I wake up, I immediately drink a full glass of water because I'm breaking my fast from overnight. I want to replenish the fluid, the oil in my car, and I'm going to eat something right away. And I'm going to go outside and eat as well. I want to go straight outside. I want to get the natural smells and light, all that, barefoot as well. So we can get a little, we can get real primitive with this, but it's kind of like how I like to do it. I think it makes sense to me. I want to keep those core things that humans are or have done for a long time, So now we live in a house that we've built. We don't step on grass a lot. We step on carpet. We wear socks. We wear clothes. I don't think all of it's so unnatural, but I just want to keep those core things on a daily or weekly basis. I don't want to get too far away from it. I think that's the thing. I don't want to get too far away. So do what I said and see how it goes. I find a lot of benefit in it. My sleep is crucial for keeping my brain sharp. So give it a try and basically just see how you sleep. I mean, you should know right away in the morning when you wake up if you're rested or not. And a key thing is if you don't have dreams, that's a problem. Dreams are pretty essential for getting a rested night of sleep. So just try it and see.